Welcome to the module on basics of material testing. In the previous module, we talked about the aggregate impact value test. In this module, we will be dealing with Los Angeles abrasion value test in detail. What is a Los Angeles abrasion value and what are the advantages of doing this test? What is a Los Angeles abrasion test? A Los Angeles abrasion test, commonly known as LAV test, is widely used as an indicator of the relative quality of aggregates. The test is being conducted in using a cylindrical drum which is being charged with steel metal balls as shown in the figure. It measures the degradation of the standard grading of aggregates when subjected to abrasion and impact in a rotating steel drum with an abrasive charge of steel balls. The number of steel balls required in a particular test depends upon the quantity or the size of the aggregates which is being used for the testing purpose. The purpose of Los Angeles abrasion test, if you see, abrasion test is carried out to test the hardness properties of the aggregates. The principles of Los Angeles abrasion test is to find the percentage wear due to the relative rubbing action between the aggregates and steel balls as abrasive charges. The maximum number of steel balls which can be used at any point of time is not more than 12 numbers. The Los Angeles abrasion testing machine confirms in all its essential characteristics to the designs shown and stated in IS 2386 part 4 shall be used for the purpose of the testing. If you see the apparatus required in order to conduct the Los Angeles abrasion test, the specifications or the machine used for Los Angeles abrasion test is as shown in the figure. The machine shall consist of a hollow cylinder closed at both ends, having an inside diameter of 700 millimeters and an inside length of 500 millimeters. The cylinder shall be mounted on a stub shaft attached to the ends of the cylinder but not entering it. It shall be mounted in such a manner that it may be rotated about its axis in horizontal position. An opening in the cylinder shall be provided for the introduction of the test samples and the charges. The opening shall be closed dust tight with a removable cover plate in place. The cover shall be so designed as to maintain the cylindrical contour of the interior surface unless the shelf is so located that the charge will not fall on the cover or come in contact with it during the testing period. A removable steel shelf projecting radially 88 millimeters into the cylinder and extending its full length shall be mounted along one element of the interior surface of the cylinders as shown in the figure, which is extreme right bottom. If you see, you have a steel shelf of dimension 88 by 25 by 500. So 25 is the thickness, 500 is the length, and 88 is your projection inside the cylinder. The shelf shall be such thickness and so mounted by bolts or other approved means as to act as a firm and rigid component of the abrasion testing machine. This will help you to move the charges as well as the particles from one direction to the other as the cylinder moves. The position of the shelf shall be such that the distance from the shelf to the opening measured along the circumference of the cylinder in the direction of rotation shall not be less than 1250. If you see the right side photograph which is showing the cross-sectional view or the side view of the, not the cross-sectional, rather side view of the abrasion testing machine, you can see a periphery marked on top of it, stating that between the 2 points, that is, one is the handle of the opening and the second is the stud positions, and you can see that this is the distance we are talking about, which should not be less than 1250 millimeters measured on outside of the drum. Abrasive charges. The abrasive charges shall consist of a cast iron sphere or steel spheres approximately 48 millimeters in diameter and each weighing between 390 to 440 grams. The grading requirements like A, B, C, and D, E, F, and G gradings are being used in order to make sure that what should be the number of steel balls you can use and what is the weight of the charge in grams. So for grading A, you have to use 12 balls. For grading B, you should use 11 balls. For grading C, you should use 8 balls. For grading D, you should use 6 balls. And for grading E, F, and G, 12 balls are being used. When we say 12 balls, that means the weight of the charge in grams is around 5,000 plus minus 25 grams. Why plus minus 25? Because the steel balls are having a range of weights starting from 390 grams to 440 grams. So this is the typical table which designates, depending upon the grading of the aggregates, you have to choose the required number of steel balls, and then those number of steel balls shall be put inside the abrasion machine for testing. Now, how do you check the grading which is being shown in the previous slide, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, and G? So this is the table which shows the table 2 of IS 2386 part 4, which says that if your grading is A, that means you have the particles passing 40 retained on 25, passing 25 retained on 20, passing 20 retained on 12.5, and passing 12.5 retained on 10. So if these are the categories, then you are probably getting the A category, and then with that A category, the weight of the test samples for this particular category is 1250 grams and the number of charges required is 12. Similarly, if it is B category, the weight of the sample required is 2500 grams. If it is C category, the weight of samples required is 2500. If it is D, the weight of samples required is again 5000 grams. But for grading E, F, and G, the weight of the samples have a tolerance of plus minus 2%, and for grading A, B, C, and D, the weight of the samples needs to be accurate and close to the values which is given in the table. See the procedure of Los Angeles abrasion test. For grading A, B, C, and D, the machine shall be rotated for 500 revolutions, and for grading E, F, and G, stated in the previous slides, the machine shall be rotated for 1000 revolutions. The machine shall be so driven and so counterbalanced as to maintain a substantially uniform peripheral speed. If an angle is used as the shelf, the machine shall be rotated in such a direction that the charge is caught on the outside surface of the angles. At the completion of the test, the material shall be discharged from the machine and a preliminary separation of the samples made on a sieve coarser than 1.7 mm sieve is used. That means the material is directly discharged on a set of sieves which is higher than 1.7 millimeters and easy to collect the material in the tray. The test samples shall consist of clean aggregate which has been dried in an oven at 105 to 110 degrees centigrade to substantially constant weight and shall conform to the wall of the gradings shown in table 2. The gradings used shall be those mostly representing the aggregates furnished for the work. A detailed procedure for Los Angeles abrasion test, or you can say a summarized procedure of Los Angeles abrasion test is stated below. The specified weight of the aggregate sample is placed along with the abrasive charges. Machine is rotated at an RPM of 20 to 33 RPMs. The abraded aggregate is then sieved on a 1.7 millimeter IS sieve. Weight of the powdered aggregate passing this sieve is measured and recorded. Abrasion value is expressed as a percentage wear or the percentage passing 1.7 millimeter sieve to the original weight of the sample. Abrasion value less than 30 is used for bituminous concrete and cement concrete works on the wearing surfaces. The use and significance of the Los Angeles value test, if you see. For an aggregate to perform satisfactory in pavement, it must be sufficiently hard to resist the abrasive effect of traffic over longer period of time. The soft aggregates will be quickly grounded to dust, while the hard aggregates are quite resistant to crushing effects. The test also will determine the quality of the aggregate. The LA abrasion test is widely used as an indicator of the relative quality or competency of the mineral aggregates. Depending upon the value of the LAB test, the selection criteria are set for different layers of roads like WMM, that is wet mix macadam, bituminous macadam, dense bituminous macadam, and bituminous courses. So if you see for WMM, an LAV of 40% is maximum is allowed. For DBM, an LAV of maximum 35% is allowed, and for BC, an LAV of maximum 30% is allowed. It means as you move closer to the wearing surfaces of the flexible pavements or the rigid pavements, the LAV value goes down. That means you require a higher strength or higher quality of aggregates in order to resist the abrasion effect due to the wear and tear effect due to the movement of the vehicles. So why? Because your wet mix macadam is covered with the asphaltic layers. It is not directly exposed to the wear and tear of the tire or movement of the vehicles. But when it comes to BC, it is directly covered. It is directly affecting the wear and tear due to the tires, wear and tear due to the movement of the vehicles. So that is the reason why for BC the LAV value is less as compared to the other layers in the flexible pavement. Some of the international standards on LAV, if you see, in IS you have IS 2386 part 4 designating the methods of test as far as LAV is concerned. ASTO T96 and ASTM C131 also talks about the LAV test in their codes with the heading resistance to degradation of small size coarse aggregates by abrasion and impact in the Los Angeles abrasion machine. ASTM C535 also talks about resistance to degradation of large size coarse aggregates by abrasion and impact in the Los Angeles machines. So to summarize this module, we talked about the LAV test. We defined what is the Los Angeles abrasion value. We talked about the apparatus required to conduct the LAV test, the purpose of the LAV test, and the use and significance of the LAV test, commonly known as Los Angeles abrasion value test. In the next module, we will be covering the aggregate crushing value test, the use of aggregate crushing value test, and how the aggregate crushing value will guide us to choose the hardness of the jaw plates used in the crusher. Till then, thank you very much for watching. Tune in for more updates.